how to develop bicep peaks. I'm gonna show you how. But am I? I laugh because, I've gotten this at least 3 times, like, hey Chris, can you make a video on how to develop bicep peaks? And listen, I get where you're at. When I was younger, I read in the magazines, Flex, MD, Muscle and Fitness, develop bicep peaks, do these 3 exercises for biceps. And listen, I did them because I saw Ronnie Coleman, who was the king at the time when I first started training. And I thought, man, I want biceps like him. I want biceps like Arnold, right? So I want to do anything in my power I can to develop that peak. Well, guess what? You can't actually train the shape of our biceps. We can make it bigger, just like we can't change the insertion of it, right? You see how my bicep inserts here? If it was to insert here, which I've seen tons of people and they have a big gap where all this muscle isn't there, I can't develop that lower portion because I have no muscle there. Just say somewhere with a peak, if my biceps are shaped more flat as opposed to up and down, and that's what I'm gonna have to deal with. Next, but you're gonna say, Chris, that's the end of the video, right? It's over, it's done. No, there's still gonna be some ways and things that I can do that are going to increase the outer portion of my bicep, right? Because if you think about the bicep, it's split right down the middle, an inner head and an outer head. So obviously, if you wanna try to increase the peak, we wanna work the outer portion, so that side towards my tricep, or the lateral head of my tricep. Let me go through some exercises that I really feel there specifically. And honestly, if this doesn't change the peak at all, there's just some really great bicep exercises. So let's get at it. All right, guess what exercise number 1 is? Dumbbell preacher curls. Shocker, right? So if you watch here, I can really get a good length on my bicep and come up full contraction. Here, really thinking about taking my pinky towards my delt. So we're here, squeeze. Squeeze, remember, not going all the way down, not getting full extension. Come up, hard contraction. Hard contraction. That is just destroying my bicep. I can feel it cramp. Right here, that's what we want. Right here. Bam, squeeze that thing. Squeeze, dumbbell preacher curls. Exercise number 1. All right, next up. These are what I will always consider Arnold curls. It's a concentration curl, but it's standing, right? So I'm gonna show you the 2 versions of concentration curl. So it's here. If you've seen pumping iron, you know what he does. It's here, 1, 2, squeeze. 1, 2, squeeze. I mean, that is absolutely just hammering my bicep. So I'm bracing my non-working hand on my left knee while I'm curling with my right arm. Here, squeeze, 1, 2. Full extension, this is where I want to fully straighten my arm, get a length of the bicep. Up, 1, 2, squeeze. If you notice, my elbow, for the most part, stays pretty daggone stable. I'm not rocking, meaning move my elbow front to back. It's here, I'm just pivoting off the elbow. All right, this is also a concentration curl. We're just seated now. So I want to take my elbow, bury it on my adductor. Same premise as standing. I'm just locked in the stone here. Now, fully straight, squeeze, 1, 2. 1, 2. Look at that. Full length, full contraction. Here, 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 here. Now, slight little rant. The amount of people I see doing this using way too much load. I don't think I've ever done this over 35 pounds. And I'll show you what it looks like. They do this. They're literally this. And they're using 50, 60, I've even seen 70 pounds on this. Absolutely idiotic. Stop. Watch this form. Elbow, drill in my adductor. All this is like doing a preacher curl. Here, squeeze. 1, 2. Control that negative. Dead stop. Here. 1, 2. Dead stop. 1, 2, just like that. That's how you do the 1-arm concentration curls seated. Stop with this nonsense. Dumbbell smash curls. John taught me these. They're absolutely incredible. Lay face down on an incline bench. Bang those dumbbell heads together on the inside. And then we're here, squeeze, 1, 2. Control down. 1, 2. Not only am I curling north and south, I'm thinking about taking my hands and trying to smash them together. Just like that. Easy bar. And I want to talk about this because, dear God, this was taught to me time and time again. If you want to grow the outer portion of your bicep, what was the old adage? Your hands have to be narrow. So on an easy bar, they wanted you to take your hands on that inside grip, right? Do you see how that binds me? Like how it makes my arms come inside of my shoulders or my wrists inside of my shoulders? And you're supposed to curl here. And this is supposed to be for outer peak of the bicep. Let me show you from the side. This is supposed to get the outer head of our bicep, right? Now, with no weight, this actually feels pretty good. What happens if I put a 45-pound plate on each side of this, which would be a hard 8 to 12 for me? Suddenly, this position right here feels horrible because the alignment is poor between my wrists, my elbows, and my shoulders. So let me show you, again, imagine me having a plate on there on each side, and I'm here, and look at that alignment of my shoulder is like being internally rotated, and I'm like, my elbows kind of flare out, my wrists are driven in. This is not a good lift. Now, watch the biomechanics of this get better by me taking the outside grip. See how that alignment is significantly improved for me? Show you from the side. This right here hits my biceps just as good, but causes zero joint issues. So, I really challenge you with this easy bar. Don't listen to this nonsense about close grip. And it doesn't matter if it's a barbell, easy bar, doesn't matter. This inside mess, terrible. It's not good for joint alignment. Now, listen, I know for this channel that sounds really smart. Joint alignment. But I also talk to you guys about longevity, right? And if we can do the best job of not beating the piss out of our joints unintentionally, let's not do it. Let's not be dumb meatheads in this situation. Let's pick exercises that line up better for our bodies, which is why 9 times out of 10, I typically prefer that dumbbell preacher curl, because I can get perfect alignment of wrist, elbow, shoulder, and then drill my bicep, right? So if you think about takeaways here, guys, go back and look at those 4 exercises. If you're gonna get a peak development, those are gonna be the 4 I'd recommend. But at the end of the day, like, just grow your biceps freaking big and let the shape be what they are. If you like this video, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Chris on TV.